Hey everyone, wanted to do an update this week. 3D printer is pretty much all bird feeders all the time at this point. Um, I'm going to end up with 19 bird feeders out. I have a bunch of birds here, and those feeders to me are disposable. You know, they're easy to print. They take about 3 hours each, so they're not free, obviously. There's the expense of the filament and the electricity to run them, but we'll get that put up and taken care of. I have a new 3D printer on the way. It's the K2 from Creality, so I'll give you guys an update on that when it arrives. This one has a 4-color carousel in it, so it can go to 16, starting off with a 4, and I'll build it up as I go. But I'll let you guys know what I think of it. The Ender 3 has been fantastic. It had one little glitch, which I think is still bothering some of the prints, and that was that the filament got stuck around the head from a bad print, and I hadn't noticed it, and it was heating up the head and damaging the wires. I have a new head. They're only $28 at this point for the heads, so it's easy to replace. I just haven't gotten around to replacing it, so I'm still using the same configuration, and it's been running almost flawlessly the entire time. Occasionally you get an odd filament. I don't know if it's the head or sometimes the spool will get bogged. And because of the location of the sensor and location of the head, the sensor will think it has filament, but if it's not feeding, it still thinks it's got filament while the head's not getting anything. So that's the only issue I've had so far with that device. But the big update I wanted to do this week was on power. When we talked about what kind of power can you get in the summer. Now, bear in mind, the most I can get is whatever's going to bring me up to the top point that I've got the system set for, which is 90%. So any power over that, I don't know what's coming in off of the panels because there's no way to record that. There's no electrical flow for me to get the power from it. But let's go back to September. September, the entire month, panels generated 22.71 kilowatts. October, 23.28. Now we're getting into winter. November, 16.77. December, only 6.4. January went back up to 13.6. But so far, February, I'm at 5.22. We're more than halfway in, so it'll be at least 10 kilowatts that we're going to have here. So it's probably going to come out about the way it was in January, but not as low as December. I mean, I'm almost at the point of December's numbers already. So obviously it's going to depend on the type of weather we get, etc. That's not the entire power I took in. Each month I'll bring in more or less AC power to balance that out. But it is possible to get power over the winter. Again, if the panels were doubled, in theory, all of those numbers would be doubled. So there's 600 watts worth of panels out there right now. I'm at almost 6 kilowatts at this point in February, so that would give me 12 kilowatts, which would come out to a kilowatt a day on average, being 12 days into the month at this point. So it's worth it to have more panels, but at the same time, come the summer, it's going to look like I'm not generating as much because once the batteries have topped off, I'll have no more numbers coming in from the power from the panels, so I can't say how much I got. And to me, at that point, it's wasted power. So we're back to that trade-off. It's expensive to have the batteries. It's cheap to have the panels. So you can get more panels in the winter so that you've got more power coming in to charge up your batteries. But on the flip side, come summer, you're going to have a bunch of power that's being generated that you're not really using. The unit I've got, the Delta Pro Ultra, is a 6 kilowatt per battery unit. So I have 12 kilowatts worth of power in the system right now. So what's been generated so far this month almost fills up one battery. Of course, at 90%, we're probably there at this point. So that's not too bad. But again, if I needed to use that system, right, and I drained it down, it's 12 days into February. It would be another 12 days to put the other 6 into it. So if it was completely drained at the beginning of February, it would take me the month of February with the panels I've got, the 6 100-watt panels that I've got. It would take me till the end of February to top off that unit. Not great if you want to use it as a emergency power, which is why I have the AC power coming into it. Keeps it at a 70% threshold. It has gone up to 90, depending on how much power is coming in from the outside. So there is a balancing act in there from the power coming in from the grid. However, where I am, the grid power is not changing. So I don't have to worry about the grid power being more expensive during the winter than it was over the summer, for example. So it will balance itself out that way. But again, it means that some of the things that I do, I have an offset for, right? While I use my cooking off of the batteries, the offset for the cooking is going to be probably more than enough to offset what I'm using for the 3D printing. So that's a balance in there. But that's what I got for you guys this week, and I will talk to you all next time.